Okay, I have to video this curb right here. Can you see that curb? Every time I pull in this parking lot, I jump that curb. So I was so proud of myself today because I did not jump the curb. I am leaving the bank. I got the papers notarized and the most recent bank statement to do these guardianship papers, and I'm on my way to the courthouse. I'm going to have them look over the papers before I leave and make sure that I got them correct. So we are busy. Bronson, I took Bronson to the doctor, and Bronson, they don't think that he has an abscess or an infection, but they're putting him on an antibiotic. So before I go home, I'll pick up his antibiotics, start him on that. He's keeping his foot on ice, missing another day of school, and he will start school tomorrow. Hello to my dear friends, how are you? This is Tamera Weeks with Tam's Daily Vlog. I do not have Miss Micah with me today because we had a no-call, no-show CNA this morning. And I had woke up several times during the night and this morning, and somehow I slept through everybody going to school. William came in to say goodbye when he left for work, and I went back to sleep. So by the time I woke up, it was kind of late, so I called. She can't get here until really late, and I said, well, you just call her back and tell her not to come because it will almost be time for the van by then, and I can do this by myself. So I'm walking outside with the camera so I can just get a glimpse of Micah on camera today. But when I'm walking outside with Micah, the van is here to pick Micah up. Micah's rolling outside, and then the big electricity guy came to fix the part on the washing machine. It's the actuator. That's the part that tells the tub tells the actuator where it's sitting, or the other way around. Anyway, it's the timer part. So the washing machine hasn't been spinning out all the water. So he came to replace the actuator. So he pulls his big truck in, and Bo is just going bonkers. And this guy's been to my house several times, and he almost won't move until I get Bo out of the way. I don't think he's afraid of him. He just needs the dog to be out of his way. So it took me a long time to coax Bo because he is so excited about, there's this man in this truck and I don't know who he is, and now Micah's van's here, and he always goes out and says goodbye to Micah when the van comes. So all this commotion's going on, and he's way excited, and I had a really hard time getting him in. But I finally got him in the backyard, and then I walk outside and I just tell the guy, okay, go downstairs, the part's by the washing machine, and then I get Micah on the van so I didn't get her on camera. And that's what happened today. So when I talked to them this morning, I said she is scheduled for my next 2 mornings, and this is the same CNA that called out sick on Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. So hopefully we don't have a trend with this same person. I'm assuming that we don't, but we just don't ever know. We take it one day at a time. But I did get her ready and get her out the door on time. So what I thought I would do is I would take a few minutes. I'm probably going to miss some, and I am in selfie mode. I don't know if this is going to make a difference in the quality of my video. That just means that I can look in the camera and see where everything is at. I have to look at the camera in a different way, and I hope I'm looking at the right spot where I'm looking at you. But it was a much faster setup to just set the camera up and turn it around where I can see where everything is, because I have to try like 4 or 5 times to adjust the camera and make sure I'm in the right spot. And there's also, you can't see, but there's this huge mess around me of Bronson's clothes. They've been sitting here forever because I've had this terrible migraine and we can't get his clothes done. Then he went to Colorado. We brought all of his clothes from downstairs. So what we've done, we had 4 boys in a tiny little room for years, and it went down to 3, 2, 1. Now it's just Bronson in his room. So all the extra clothes that we would have that were going to be hand-me-downs from brother to brother, or hand-me-downs from people at church that would give us stuff that we could wear, we would put them downstairs. I would attempt to organize them from time to time, and this is the last time. They're never going to be downstairs again. Now he's in his room by himself. We just have to finish cleaning out his closet, go through these clothes, and then he can put anything that doesn't fit him right now or anything that's for next summer. We can put it in his closet, and I'm super excited because it's going to take a lot of space out of the downstairs. We are going to have a clean basement. It was clean 15 years ago, and I'm just sure we can do it again. So what I thought I would do is go through some of these questions and just answer your questions, or just even give you some comments. I may go back and type these in. I'm not doing a very good job of getting answers in. I just, I don't know, I just can't seem to sit down and really get very much done with responding to comments. But I thank you. Please don't stop talking to me. Please, please, please. I'm not going to stop talking to you. I promise, promise, promise. But I'm just still having such a hard time with my head. So I thought this would be a good time to go through some of these anyway. So let's see what we have. If I turn, sounds like, I thought I heard the phone ringing. Ha ha ha. I am filming on the phone and it's in airplane mode, so I didn't really hear that. Isn't that funny? Whatever we're used to. Years ago, we had a customized van. It was the very first van we ever had a wheelchair lift on it for Micah. And Micah would always sit in between the front two seats. So, you know, like if I'm driving and there's that seat and she would be sitting right here. When she wasn't in the van, I was rarely in the van without Micah. So when I was in the van by myself without Micah, I would think that I would hear her and I would turn around. So it's kind of funny what sounds we get used to listening to. Okay, so I will hold the computer. I think maybe this is the best way to trade it. The purpose was to sit it right here, but if I sit it right here and I answer these questions, I'm going to not have my face to you. Maybe I can, let's see. Okay, maybe I can do it like this and then I can read the question and then talk to you. How's that? Okay, so Melissa Hahn says, is Bridget a teacher? Bridget is the assistant manager at the day program where Micah goes every day. So when the van comes in the morning to pick her up, she's going to the day program to see the assistant manager. She sees other people, but that's her favorite person to see. Veronica McDonald, I thought that was so cute that Micah got all excited when Bridget came. Seeing Micah and Bridget together is like the absolute sweetest thing ever. The Bay Window Ladies Vlog, if you don't mind me asking, what does leasing your car mean? And Living Able, thank you so much for helping to answer this question. Okay, leasing a car just means it's kind of like you're renting a car. So instead of buying it, when you buy a car, the car becomes your own. It belongs to the bank or whoever, you know, you're getting a loan through unless you pay for cash. So until it's paid off, like buying your house, the bank owns our house until we finish paying it off. So when you lease a car, it's like renting a car. So the dealership owns the car and I pay them a payment every month. I make a car payment to them, but it's like a rent payment. And it's a 3-year lease. And some of the things that are involved with that, you get 1,000 miles per month or 1,000 miles 12,000 miles per year. I said this on a video the other day, and twice I used the wrong word. I think I said hours, 12 hours, and I meant 12,000 miles. So it averages out to 1,000 miles per month, 12,000 miles per year. So when you go in, if you're under your mileage, then you get a credit on that, and it helps you get into another vehicle if you want to lease again. I think I'm still below my mileage, even though William just took the car to Colorado. I didn't really sit down and look at that, but I had a few thousand miles. I don't drive that much. Since I don't feel that well, I really don't go anywhere, and since I don't work a job every day, I don't go anywhere. Don't go out very much. I forget exactly how it works, but they give you an estimate when you buy your car, and I don't remember what the numbers are. I have a 2015 Nissan Juke. Let's say that they said in 3 years my car will be worth 15,000 miles, and I'm making up the number. And when I turn the car in, if the car is actually worth $17,000 instead of $15,000, then it's a $2,000 credit. So you get a little bit of credit, you know, when it comes to that. The salesman that sold me my car, he's been getting a leased car for his wife for many years because it works for them. And he ended up buying one of their cars because it ended up being, at some point, and he just drives it. He said, I'm just going to drive this thing until I can't drive it anymore. But it ended up where he got a really good deal for it, so he just bought it. So there are a lot of little details, and it doesn't work if you drive a lot. It doesn't work if you work a job and you drive 30 minutes a day. But it works. I thought it would work for me. I end up changing cars the last several years. I've changed cars for different reasons. I've changed them every few years. So I thought, well, why not just try leasing? But the problem that I'm having with leasing is that my insurance has gone up way too much. I called insurance recently. If I get a Ford or I get a, what's the other American car? Ford or a Chevy, the monthly insurance is less expensive. So I'm going to see what I can come up with next time around. He said all you have to do is call us and we'll tell you how much insurance is. So between my car payment and my insurance, I'm paying way too much for the budget that we have. It's like a crazy money that we're paying, and it was not a wise thing to do. I think leasing might not have been such a big deal, but I think what I ended up getting was a big deal. I was only looking at the monthly car note. I didn't have any idea that my car insurance was going to skyrocket like it did, so that part I wasn't very happy. I think about it quite a bit because it's just way too much money. I'm not happy about that. So anyway, that's a little bit about so you can think of leasing a car like renting it. You don't own it. Okay, let's see. I remember some questions that came in. Let's see if I can find them. Okay, Nerdy One. Micah's outfits are always so pretty. Did you ever do a video on them? Okay, now I'd started a couple of videos. I was downscaling my wardrobe back in January, and then I did Micah's. I'm not actually sure if I went back and did another one. It seems like I did one, and then I didn't finish it, but then when I went back, I lost it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So Nerdy One, tell me what you would like to see with Micah's clothes on a video, because I've done things like off and on. If we're making a video, like I'll just scan the clothes that are hanging there. Deb, our CNA Deb, is in charge of putting outfits together. I don't let anybody else do it, and it's a real spot with Deb. And it came up yesterday. She's like, where in the world did this outfit come from? And I said, I don't know who did it. So you know what she's going to do? She said, I'm going to start taking pictures of the outfits so that when I come back and something's different, I can look at the picture. And I said, that's a great idea. We should do that. What happens is the girls don't know what modesty means to me. So I pulled out an outfit on Sunday because we didn't have a CNA on Sunday. She called out sick, the one that didn't show up today. Today was a no-call, no-show. Sunday morning was a call-out sick. It was a sleeveless dress with a sleeveless blouse underneath it. Well, I know Deb wouldn't do that because we want to have sleeves on there. So some CNA decided, and I will tell them, please hang the clothes up and just put them in the closet. Somebody decided to match that up. And if another CNA came that didn't know what modesty means to me and didn't come all the time and put that whole sleeveless thing on her, I would be having a fit and she wouldn't have any idea, because if they're told these are the outfits that she wears, then if something is wrong right there, they don't know that something is wrong. So that kind of thing is a really big deal to me. And we have had a few things happen. But anyway, Nerdy One, tell me what you want to see with Micah's clothes. And I don't know how you pronounce this, but Emiaow, new subscriber, happy Monday. Thank you so much and welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you. And Sean, I'm going to tell Deb, she comes this afternoon. Tell Deb I think of her when my twisted feet flop around with socks. I'm going to tell her when she comes today. She comes this afternoon. Oh, Elmo, you asked me about a P.O. box. A few people have asked me about a P.O. box to send fan mail to Miss Micah, and I don't have a P.O. box to send fan mail to. Not yet. I will, but I don't. I checked on it, and it is really expensive. I can't remember if I checked on like 6 months, and it was like $100 or something. It's kind of crazy money to spend to get just, 1 or 2 pieces of mail. So I don't have one yet, but I promise I will get one, but I don't have it yet. So just hang loose on that. Oh, this was a great question right here. In a Burger King bag, what does folding towels have to do with her care? Couldn't you just fold them yourself? That is a great question. I made a video and I'm talking about folding towels and how it's important to me that the girls roll them and that they look a certain way when you open the cabinet. I don't always check on them, but when I check on it, they're usually not done correctly. So I make this big spiel in a video. That was that was on Micah's morning routine where I talked about her towels. This is how I do. This is how I manage Micah's care. I have the CNAs do absolutely everything for Micah. There are multiple reasons for this. Once upon a time, I worked a job. I worked 40 hours a week, and I was gone a lot, so I didn't see the CNAs hardly ever. When I got in at night, I worked late at night, so I was gone when they'd get here in the afternoon. I was gone at work when they were here at nighttime, and in the morning, I probably slept through most of it. So I wasn't here very much. If I empower the people that take care of Micah to handle all of her cares, which is to sweep her floor, to dust her room, to make her bed, to fold her towels, to put her outfits together, to know how to feed her, to know where her apron is, you know, her adult bib, to wash, dry, and put away her dishes. So anytime they are here and they feed her, they are responsible to wash, dry, and put away Micah's dishes. A lot of times the kitchen is already a mess, but if they learn to do that, when the kitchen is all clean and they come in and they clean everything up, then the kitchen stays clean. But if I empower everybody to do things like wash her clothes and fold her towels, if something happens to me and I disappear tomorrow, Micah can still be taken care of, and everybody knows what to do for Micah and how to take care of her. I don't have to be here in order to take care of Micah. And it also frees up my time to do other things. I don't have to fold up Micah's towels. I don't even fold our own towels. I have the boys fold our own towels. So it frees up my time if I give these chores to the girls to do. But the biggest thing to me is that I'm empowering them to know how to take care of Micah. How do you feed her? How do you prepare her food? How do you keep her from choking? How do you do all of these things? So that's where towels falls into that, and I hope that makes sense. So thank you very much for that great question. Okay, Diaper Delight had a question. I'm not sure that I can read this and answer it right off. Let's see. So this was in the Q&A that I did on Saturday. People were asking me about the first time Micah had a menstrual period and what was it like for Micah, what was it like for me, and then I kind of covered what it's like right now. Okay, so he's asking about what about her psycho-emotional aspects, other than her possibly being moody, etc. Does it bring up discussion with her or point out to her or limitation as to her ultimately fully recognizing her womanhood, assuming I have referenced such tactfully enough? That is a great question, and we just don't talk about Micah's womanhood. It's not because I mind talking about Micah's womanhood. My one word that describes my channel and my whole life is the word share. It just never seems like it's needed to talk about with Micah. And you guys ask me a lot of stuff about how do I know if, you know, like maybe I'm ignoring subjects with Micah. I don't know if maybe sometimes the questions I get, not necessarily this one, I'm putting a bunch of stuff all together and I'm hoping I can make this make sense. But I don't know if sometimes it looks like on camera that I ignore conversations with Micah that I could be having with her because she understands enough to have conversation about womanhood and things like that. What you see on camera is really, if you walked in my house right now, you would feel like, wow, this is just like being on camera with Tam on Tam's Daily Vlog. You only get me in small little spots, but you really get a lot of real stuff. This is really me and really Micah and really how we interact. That particular thing of I'm trying to think of other subjects that you guys have asked me about, you know, do you ask her about this and this and this? I probably don't ask her, just maybe on occasion. I kind of just go with conversations with Micah as they seem like they're necessary or as they seem like they're needed. She doesn't seem to ask a lot of questions. She just seems happy. You know how she is on camera? She's kind of happy to be alive and kind of happy to see Bridget and kind of happy to breathe. And, she loves going to church and worship Jesus. And Micah's just happy. And so, because she's just happy, right now in the moment is what's on her mind, unless it's Bridget's not necessarily here, but she's always on that girl's mind. Sometimes I'm like, Micah, all right, we already talked about that. We're not talking about Bridget anymore. We're going to talk about something else. So that particular question goes into other things, but the answer to that question would be no. We've never really talked about that. I don't know. The extent of the conversation is, does your stomach hurt? Are you feeling okay? Does your head hurt? Do you need some medicine? That's about the extent of it. I don't know that any of the rest of it is really all that important. There are times when I will sit down on Micah's bed and I'll put my arm around her like you see me do in a video, and I'll say, Micah, do you wish you could talk? Or sometimes I just say it to her, but sometimes when it's just me and her on the bed, I'll do that. And I'll say, Micah, do you wish that you could talk? And she'll say, yeah. And I'll say, Micah, do you wish you could run around and jump up and down and play like your siblings or play like kids that you see? And she'll say, yeah. And I'll ask her a few questions like that, and then I'll say, but is it okay, being like you are in a wheelchair? And she'll say, yeah. So she just seems happy whenever we have those conversations. And whenever, even recently, I think this week, I said something about she needed to be able to talk and tell me what she was laughing about. I think that's come up a few times on video. Micah, she seems to be laughing a lot. What are you laughing about? I wish that you could talk and tell me what you were laughing about. Or I'll say, Micah, it is a good thing that you cannot talk because you would tell way too many secrets and I would be in jail right now. I'm really glad that you can't talk right now. And she'll just laugh. So we just joke around a lot like that, and that seems to suffice Micah. So if I'm missing anything anywhere, I don't know where I would be missing it, but I don't feel like I am, but it doesn't mean that I'm not. So that was a really long answer. Let's see if there's something else I can find down in here. Oh, Diaper Delight, you asked me, what is the particular benefit resulting from putting her into her stander as opposed to just remaining in her chair all the time? Medical, therapeutic, psychological, social. Okay, so the purpose of Micah getting into her stander, 20 minutes in the morning, unless I'm getting her up. She wasn't in the stander this morning. I barely had time to get her out on the bus this morning. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, that's 40 minutes a day. At nighttime, it's optional, 10 minutes maximum, because by the end of the day, Micah's done a lot of activities and she's tired. So 10 minutes max if she says yes, and she just says yes sometimes. The purpose of it is for weight bearing. So when we're standing up, right now I'm standing up doing this video, I'm putting all of my weight onto my feet and weight bearing. That helps with preventing osteoporosis or helps with the progressiveness of it. Micah does have a little bit of osteoporosis. So the weight bearing part of it is good just in general, but that specifically. It also helps to strengthen her trunk muscle. It helps to strengthen her because she is standing up. And I think those are probably the biggest reasons, would be the trunk muscle and the weight bearing. And it also gives different muscles use. She's using different muscles to stand than when she's sitting in a wooden chair, than when she's sitting in her wheelchair, than when she's sitting on the bench without a back on it. So it gives different muscles something to do and a different position to be in, and gives her a little bit of variety too, because she can sit in the wooden chair to eat, sit in her wheelchair, sit on the bench, which we haven't been sitting on the bench. I want to start using the bench at home. I have the little, it's only been on one video, but she has this little blue Therapeutic bench that doesn't have a back on it, but you have to be sitting right there, like you don't sit her on the bench and walk away from it. Okay, so the camera turned off because I am out of storage. I'm at 24 minutes. I'm going to edit this down. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for being here, asking me some more questions. And I will talk with you soon. I will look to the hills from whence cometh my help, for my help cometh from the Lord. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.